Hi guys, it's Tesla, and today I'm revealing all of my secrets about how to make the best tamales. Okay, so the first step is to get the tamale husks or the corn husks wet, and so that they'll be kind of flexible. So we're using these corn husks that we got at Cub, but you can use corn husks or banana leaves. Either one works well, but corn husks are the traditional serving. So to get the corn husks flexible enough to fold the husks over the tamales, you want to put them in a pot or a bowl with and then pour like hot or boiling water over them so that they can get more flexible. And then we'll just set those aside and leave those to continue to get more flexible, and we'll bring in the instapot. So then we'll take 4.5 pounds of pork and we'll just stick it in there. And then I'm using half an onion. You can use less onion or no onion if you'd like to, but I like to use some onion. And typically you can just leave it in a half, but I like to kind of pull them apart and just kind of use different sections of them, of the onion. And then we have a full bulb of garlic, and so I peeled these pieces of garlic, but you can buy them peeled too. Okay, so then we'll add it's about 2.5 or 3 cups of water. Just pour it over. And then a tablespoon of salt. And then we'll put the lid on. And we set it, on this one we'll set it for meat or stew. And we want to do 60 minutes, which it's already set to. So then we'll just press start. Oops. Okay, so the meat's out of the Instapot, and my dad let me use his bear claws that I gave him for Christmas, so we'll see how that works. And just kind of shred it off here. And so then we've got the 3 cups of broth that we reserved from that pork, 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, and then this is 3 tablespoons of my mom's enchilada spice mix, which has cloves and cinnamon, and it has all of the spices already mixed into it. You can make your own enchilada sauce from like dried chilies, but this is easier, a lot easier, so we'll use that. And then about 4 teaspoons of garlic, so it's about 4 cloves, I think, of garlic. And then a whole onion, and we'll need some lard, or you can use butter or oil if you want, but we use lard. So we'll go to the stove. Okay, so we're at my mom's portable burner here, and I already put in 1 tablespoon of the lard, and I'm gonna put in this other one. And it's a heaping tablespoon. I can get it out here. Okay, and we'll let that melt a little bit. Okay. Okay, and then we'll add the onion. And we'll saute the onions for a few minutes until they're kind of golden brown, about 4 to 5 minutes. Okay, so we had to add an additional light because I couldn't quite tell if the onions were brown enough, but it looks like they're about ready. So I'm gonna add in my garlic here, and we'll just throw it all in together there. Come on. And we're gonna mix this up for about 30 seconds. And then, so that it doesn't burn, we'll add in the other spices and tomato paste. And then we'll add in the broth. And this is about 3 cups from the pork. But you can also use water or beef broth if you want. Okay, so we're gonna let this simmer until we get it to kind of reduce a little bit and get it to our desired thickness. It depends on how thick you want it, how long you're going to let yours simmer, but we are going to put this in the blender afterwards. So one thing I wanted to mention as this simmers is, as I said earlier, we used Heathglen's enchilada spice, and you can use store-bought enchilada sauce, or you can use, you can make it from your own, dried chilies and rehydrate them. But we like to use this spice bun because it takes less time than rehydrating all the chilies, and usually the enchilada sauce is too, like the store-bought enchilada sauce is too thin for us. So, we started out with 3 tablespoons of the mix. We could go up to 4 tablespoons. I'll give it a taste and see what we think. I think it's good the way it is. I don't think I'm gonna add another tablespoon. One other note on the differences between the enchilada sauce is our spice blend, which you can get at heathglen.com, is smoky. It uses the smoked peppers, whereas if you're just using, the fresh pepper or dehydrated peppers, it would be not smoked. So it's a little bit smokier. All the other details about this recipe are on farmtojar.com. Okay, so it's off the burner, and we're gonna puree it up now. Okay, so let's see how much we have here. I'm not sure that this will be enough, but we can always make more, I suppose. It's gonna be almost exactly 3 cups. And now we're gonna add some olive oil to this pan that's already been preheating. I have it at like 3.5 out of 5 on the portable stove here. So we're gonna add some olive oil, and then once that's heated up, we'll add the sauce. Okay, so the oil is heated up, and now we'll just add the sauce in here. And we'll give it a stir, and we'll cook it for about 5 minutes on about medium-high. All right, so it's been about 5 minutes, and now we're just gonna add all the pork in here. And we'll give it a stir and just heat it until it's heated through. So maybe about 5 minutes. Okay, so the next step is to make the masa dough. So we have already measured out all of the ingredients that we need, and this is 4 cups of masa dough from the Maseca brand. That's the one that we use most often, but you can use any kind of tamale tortilla dough. And then this is baking powder. It's 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So then it'll be 1.5 teaspoons of salt. Push that aside. And then we will bring this guy in. And this is gonna be a cup of lard. So And then once that's kind of mixed in there, we'll add some of this broth. So this is from the pork that we made, and then we added a little bit of water. It's about 3 cups. And it's still warm. I'm just gonna add it in waves. So the way to know that your dough is the right texture is if you drop a little ball in warm water, in a glass of water, it should float. Okay, so all of our mise en place are set up, and I pulled in my dad to help me set up or assemble the tamales. So the first thing is the tamale husks. As you saw last night, we set up the husks in a bowl with hot water, and then so that's why they're soft. And so to start, you want to make sure that you have the rough side on the outside. Check. And then you're gonna put maybe about a tablespoon of dough on there. And I'll put a tablespoon on. Once you've got it as thin as possible, you can add some meat.
See, Tesla, how I do this is then I bring this up over, and then you just kind of work it, get that part over. And you begin to seal it up with the masa. Masa.
It's okay, Mom couldn't say it either.
Turn this.
Well, that looks like a winner.
Bring this up like this.
Oh, yes, I see how you're doing it so well now. I guess we'll have to note whose is whose in the pot. That way we can.
You'll know which ones are mine.
I'm sure.
Twist it. Take a tie it off. Oops. And there you have it. Ready for the pot.
Beautiful. It's gonna fall out right there.
There, ready for the pot.
I'll show you how I do mine. See that? Look at that. And you put a little more masa on top. Fold down the edges over it. See? Yeah? Perfect. Ready for the pot.
Those are restaurant ones, and these are campfire.
Or something.
I need more masa.
Okay, so we got them all made. You can see which ones are mine and which ones are my dad's. And he's working on some other sort of creation now, but now we're gonna put them in the steamer for about an hour, and then we'll check them, and if they're good to go, we'll do the taste test. Okay, so they're out of the steamer pot and we're ready to give them a test. The way that you know if they're done is if you pull them apart with the husks, they should come right out. I gave you Dad's. You can taste test Dad's.
He put more meat in his, didn't he? Maybe. Maybe.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, yours looks a lot better.
All right, let's give them a taste.
What was it? It was perfect versus efficient.
Or not perfect.
I like it.
I like it too. Is it the right amount of meat?
Yeah. The masa, the tamale is great. The meat is great. I would put a little bit more sauce in them. Or maybe pour sauce over them.
Yeah, you can do that. Or you can also top them with green chili, but I can't tell you that recipe.
Oh,
It's a top secret recipe
you'd
from my
have to
friend.
kill me if you told me. Huh?
Yeah, it's one of those.
All right. Christmas tamales.
Holiday tamales.
Holiday tamales.